It's in the Bible. Once against God, always against God. So it's the same thing as you have the chance to bow down when God's around. It's a monumental opportunity. But you have one chance to bow down or reject God. When you reject God, there is nothing else. You've just said goodbye to God, and it will never open the door again. And it's because the devil is more, the master and leader and victory. So when Jesus is pretty much killed because he's Jesus and hated by church, government, man, and more, the devil was predominantly winning, right? If they loved Jesus to any good, solid percentage, he would have had at least one church, right? So it means the devil was pretty much winning, right? And when the devil's, and in my case, the devil just wins like it's nothing. When the devil's winning, it's the devil's rules, which is why it's in the Bible. Once against God, always against God. It didn't say once against God the Father, always against God the Father. It just means don't ever go against God. Why? It's the law. If you go against God, the devil automatically owns you. So if there's crime or criminals involved that commit crime, and you told God to fuck off, essentially, and go away, then that crime or criminal reality becomes the blood on your hands or your responsibility. When Adam and Eve ate the fruit and it gave birth to murder, it wasn't God's fault, it was theirs. That blood is on their hands, therefore their responsibility. This is how life works, and this is why you don't actually want to go against a God ever, but this is not a planet like that. This planet's going to do what they want to do. That's called freedom of choice. The devil has his options to win in that freedom of choice, to hate me or come against me in a bad way. That person at the park could have said, why were you so mouthy when you normally never are? And I would have said, there was a murderer that likes to rape and murder children and was educated by the United States how to rape and murder children like a sickening expert. And I don't want a missing child in the area. So I got real mouthy, and I got lucky that there wasn't really children around. There could have been children at the park, and I would have still gotten mouthy. They rape and murder children like experts. And we're just walking around the park like they belong somewhere. But the person told me to go away. Sadly, they don't own the park, but they do reflect that the park owner wanted me to go away too. So the blood of those children, if they get raped or murdered, is on everybody else's hands and is now everybody else's responsibility. Because they made God go away, there's no one to save those children but them. That's how life works, people. This is why I keep harping. You don't put a scratch on Jesus' statue, God will kill you forever. Which would tell you everything else is so scary, you wouldn't do anything beyond that, because the scratch is already too scary. You bow down when Jesus is around and just be compliant, respectful, worshipful, give your offerings after making sure you're worthy or something, and that's all. Or if you can't, just stay away from Jesus and hope you're a good enough person, you make it. But all this overdone against me because it's so fun, because the government killed me, because on and on and on. This stuff is scary. Telling God goodbye or fuck off or go away is scary. But you can't stop the reality of the end of the world. The hint was in the Bible. But nobody ever cares about the hints that God's give you guys. But the Bible clearly says once against God, always against God. If you just pay attention and give a shit about your own life or death forever, you'd be like, well, I'm going to have to do this, my queen, my queen, my queen. I need a God to prove they are substantially, literally, powerfully real through my queen, my queen, my queen, and verify who the hell Bonnie is or is not. I cannot go against a God and die forever. See, it's your responsibility because you choose the devil too much, because humanity abuses the hell out of my death like it's nothing. I have to comply when anything tells me to go away. I have to comply. I have to lock the door and never be their God again, and they have to figure it out. It's spiritual laws and rules, and it's the fight of good and evil at the end of the world. Sadly, when the devil predominantly owns most everything, there is no choices here, people. I'm not every church. I didn't get even one church like Jesus. I'm not every government. I didn't even get one government just like Jesus. That's how this works, people. I'm a little voice in the corner. That's how much they worship the devil and not me. You have to make the right choices around my holy sacredness or you lose everything. And it could go very bad and scary very quickly. That's how it works, people.